So we talked about molecules are always moving, and they normally move from an area of high concentration to low concentration. That is the flow, the natural flow for molecules. When molecules need to move against that concentration or that path, they're going to move with energy required, and they're going to move from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration. That basically means from where there's less molecules to where there's more molecules. Energy is required for this type of transport, which is called active transport, because molecules are traveling against their natural flow. There's three types. I want you to think of these two as molecules moving from an area of high to low. I'm sorry, low to high, but they're moving inside the cell. Low to high inside the cell. Exo, on the other hand, is molecules again moving from low to high, an area of more molecules to less, but they're going outside of the cell. Think of exo as exit, exiting the cell. When you look at molecules and their transport, you're going to look at the tonicity of the environment. And basically what you do is you are going to compare the solute to solvent concentrations. We know that water is the universal solvent, so every molecule other than water is going to be considered the solute. Or in better terms, the solvent is the dissolver and the solute is what's being dissolved. So when you look at a solution, if a solution is isotonic, the solute concentration to the solvent concentration is equal. So that means molecules such as sugar or glucose, salt, any molecule other than water, which would be the solvent, would be equal to the water concentration. In this type of solution, water will move back and forth because molecules are always moving. In a hypertonic solution, there's more solute outside the cell than there is inside the cell. Think of hyper people like to be outside. Hyper people would be the solute. So the solute concentration outside is greater. Water in this case is going to move outside of the cell and the cell can shrivel up. So let's look at this diagram. In this diagram demonstrates a hypertonic solution. Because the concentration of solutes is greater outside, 1, 2, 3, etc., than inside. There's only 2. This also states that the water concentration is greater inside, because since there's only 2 solutes in the inside, the water concentration is greater. Water out here is going to try to react with these molecules. Now, if I ask you a question, in which direction does solute move if this is active transport? You're going to say outside the cell. If this is active transport, because active transport moves molecules from an area of low to high. If I ask you in which direction does water move, we're going to say water also moves out, because water always moves from an area of high concentration to an area of less concentration. And since the concentration is greater inside, water will move out. I can also ask you in which direction does the solute move if diffusion occurs? Well, if diffusion occurs, the solute is going to move inside the cell straight through the lipid membrane. If I draw this diagram and I show you the solute moving through here, the answer would be facilitated diffusion, because the molecule is moving through the protein into an area of, from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. In a hypotonic solution, there's less solute outside than there's inside. If you want to be consistent with the word more first, you could put more solute inside. So the concentration of solute is greater inside than outside, which means the water concentration is greater outside. So water will move in, and if you allow this movement to continue, the cell can burst or swell up.